What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and this video is going to be on the Jeep, and specifically on the Jeep I'm going to finally be installing a light bar under this front bumper here. So a lot of you guys know I've been thinking about a light bar, an LED light bar, and a lot of guys in general, whether it's a pickup truck or a Jeep or whatever, put it on a bar, you know, either on the rack or kind of mounted to the top of the windshield right here. But I didn't really want that. Maybe as a second option I will eventually do that in the future, but for now I really liked the idea, if you guys can sort of hopefully see the vision as well, of putting it right under this license plate, right under here. And I have seen one or two with them there, but there's very little information, and I wasn't sure which light bar, and a lot of guys had custom brackets. So that's what kind of delayed this whole project. So the light bar that I went with was a 20-inch LED bar. It's actually sold, I bought this directly on Amazon. It was $37, or like 38 or 39 shipped. And it has all the hardware here. You do not need any custom brackets for this Jeep, and it's really good. Special thanks to actually, I'll put his Instagram, Nightshade WK. He actually gave me all the information I needed in one, or really a few messages. The goal is to just do, as I like to do, an OEM plus look. So the Jeep has a few little hints of aftermarket, maybe the grill, maybe the tow hooks, the basket, the wheels, a few things, a lift, you know, nothing too crazy and like neck breaking, but there's enough that if you're a Jeep guy or you're a car guy or girl or whatever, you can kind of notice that there are some touches done that are not normally done to most of these. So anyways, we are going to be mounting it. I will show you the whole process here, so let's jump right into it right now. I ran into a little bit of a hiccup. It turns out that this is the bolt that comes with the Jeep, or with the kit, and it kind of mounts like this, as you can see. So it can only be mounted about maybe an inch or so beneath the bumper, and this is a bolt and spacer that is much longer than what comes with it, because so I stopped at the friendly Ace Hardware, and of course it's raining, but I don't give a damn because this shit's going on the Jeep today. I'm so sick of wanting to put a light bar on this thing. But anyways, what was happening was the light bar was tucked up too close under here, so I'm just going to drop it down about an inch. That's all I need, because the license plate bracket kind of hangs down right beneath the crash bar. So we're going to do that. Kind of a pain, but this is going to be much better in the long run. So here's a quick update for you, and to let you know that, one, I am dumb. Show you why I am, and that is because I only ordered the light, and for some reason I thought it came with a harness, but it doesn't, to turn it on. So what I did in the meantime was I just wrapped the wire, which is this one, just around this little wiring harness to keep it tucked away. So yes, this will be a second day, but I will tell you that I installed this light, and I want to give you guys a good comprehensive review. The spacer here is perfect. It kind of barely clears this license plate bracket, and this spot I'm gonna have to put, I actually had these guys just sitting in here to bend it back, and it's already bent back the plastic. I wish I would have thought of that before. But anyways, this is pretty much aligned like almost straight, but then tilted up just slightly, if you guys are curious. But really, it's really solid. This is definitely the way to go if you have one of these Jeeps, especially with the bracket here. It definitely needs to be dropped down. This is an inch sort of a metal spacer here with some washers, and it's totally secure. I mean, you can hit it, it's not going to move. It's actually extremely solid. As you can see, the license plate barely clears it. It's pretty much almost exactly in line. I'm sure some of the light will be obstructed by the license plate, but I'm willing to accept that, knowing that I get sort of this hidden bumper LED installed. So we're gonna have to flash really quick to the day that I already ordered the wiring harness. So whenever it comes in, we're gonna flash to that day and we will install it. So how's that for the wiring job, guys? Does that look pretty good to you? Does this wiring job look good? Anyways, I obviously got the harness. I just wanted to make sure that everything was set up properly. Like, obviously it's just positive to positive. Here's your little button here. Here's the connection that goes to the remote. And then you have your little fuse, negative, positive. So obviously this is not gonna go on the actual negative terminal of the battery. It's gonna go on like one of these sides, and then this will be hooked up nicely. And then that's it. So let me just show you the next step here. All right, time to give you guys a quick status update. So, whoops, left that in there. I zip tied it up, so here comes the cord right there, and then it comes around right here, and I didn't cut these zip ties yet, but I wanted you guys to be able to see that it is against this wiring harness here, very tight, because the radiator and the fan and stuff, so there are a bunch of zip ties here. I kind of went zip tie crazy, just wanted to make sure it wouldn't move. And then it comes up through a small little opening. I had to drop it down. And then I wired it to the positive, which you can see under there. And if you cover it, I actually ran it through this little hole. So if you have the cover on, you honestly can't even tell. It doesn't look like some aftermarket dude put some aftermarket radio in here or anything like that. And then you do see the little fuse mechanism. These things are just going to kind of sit there. The ground is right there. And then I have this extra wiring, which I'm in the process of kind of tucking in right here, which I am more than comfortable with because there's no moving parts. It's usually, not as hot back there, and I'd rather have a little slack. It's hurting nothing. That's really where the firewall is, where I ran it, which I will show you guys in just a second here. So besides this little wire right there, which is red, of course, because it's positive, I guess I could have run it slightly more incognito, but this is just the just a little fuse, so if there's some wiring issue, it'll trip it. And then this will kind of be tucked back a little bit. There is a big, see that big firewall pass through? That one I couldn't get through, but there's a smaller one below it, which I will show you. And keep in mind, guys, constructive criticism is always welcome, but I will tell you that I think that we're doing just fine. So see that one right there, how it's kind of run under the grommet? I wasn't able to run it through the grommet, but it's plugged in. Like, I pressed the grommet back, back all the way in there. So it seems to be blocking any air or water that can come through. And here we are. Here's the button that comes through. So here's a little cubby that normally goes in here. Actually goes this way. All I'm going to do is drill just a little hole in the back. All right, so scratch that. I didn't want to drill a hole as big as this thing in the back, and it's already ran, and I was able to sort of sneak it through this little hole here and just mount it right there. And to be honest with you, I think it looks just fine. I mean, I know it's sitting upright instead of being hidden away, but it's just double-sided tape, so I can always move it. I was thinking about under here, but I don't really want to hit my leg on it by accident. I think that this is a good spot that I can easily just press it, and then I can easily turn it off. And what's nice is you can see the light. It's green when it's on, obviously it's red when it's off, and I actually realized you can kind of flash it if you want to flash your lights at people, which of course I will never ever do. Alright, so I think that's really it. I mean, if you take a look at the engine bay, the only evidence is that red wire, which I can do just a little bit better job of hiding. Everything else, I mean, unless you are looking specifically for it, looks pretty much normal. I'm going to cut the rest of the wires under there. I will put all the information for this below. I'm sorry I didn't really give you guys a better in-depth install, but it was extremely hard, and it's getting dark outside, so the lighting was off and the focus of the camera was just not working. So it was just easier to kind of do it, and then I can explain it. If you guys are really interested in doing this, I would say absolutely do it. $37 light. Just make sure you order the harness, which I think is another $12, and then you'll be set. Just get some wiring, make sure that you do positive to positive, shrink wrap, that way no water will get in, and then I put, as you could see, I put electrical tape over it.